Dzień dobry, witam wszystkich, którzy nas oglądają na żywo albo na live'ie. Jak Państwo mogą już słyszeć po głosie, nastąpiła drobna zmiana w komentatorach. Zastępuję teraz Klaudię, nazywam się Martyna lub Marshmallow, jak kto woli, ale Artur dalej obok mnie będzie, za chwilkę dołączy. Kolejna gra za chwilkę. Sirens z Gdańska, do których dołączyły gościnnie dwie zawodniczki z Wrocławia oraz White Knight Furies. Hi everybody, thank you for watching us live on stream or live in person. The next game, the third game of this tournament will start shortly. On the benches you can see players for both teams preparing. In white, Rome Sirens from Gdańsk, joined by two players, two skaters from Wrocław, another Polish team, and against them in black, White Knight Furies. The game will start shortly. We're just waiting for, I think, all the referees to arrive and be ready. So any time now. As you may have already realized, if you have been an attentive listener of the previous commentary, we've did a little switcheroo on the commentator spot, and I am now stepped up. My name is Martyna. I usually play with Warsaw Roller Derby. Right now I am an NSO and a commentator for this tournament. And we have two jammers ready on the jammer line, waiting for the whistle. And the jam is on. We can see the black jammer of the Furies almost got through, but struggled there for a bit. So they are now okay, and they are out of the pack, and they are the lead jammer. And we also have the first penalty of the game. A black blocker is now on the bench, so we have only 3 black blockers left on the track. We can see that the black jammer is calling off the jam, meaning that the black team has earned 2 points.
Hello again. How are you, Martyna?
I'm good, I'm fantastic, happy to be here on this sunny day. We can see, okay, actually, we have to skip the small talk because there's a lot of action going on the track. So we see that the white jammer, Magdaza, with number 1-2, has managed to pass the pack now 2 times, actually, and it's calling off nice and short.
Yeah. She did a very nice apex.
Yeah, a nice apex jump there. And the iconic skirt, 2-2 skirt, which we already had a chance to see on the previous game we've hosted here in Warsaw in November, was
November,
it?
yes,
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
November last year. And she also, as I remember, she had a skirt, colorful
the
skirt.
same, not the same, but the same type of skirt, so easy to spot on the track. Oh, and we have a little oopsie there on the jammer line, but the game is on, and both jammers are trying to get through the pack. They are being pushed out by blockers, so quite hard to say who's going to be the first one to manage here.
No one has led so far.
Yeah, no jammer has managed to be the okay, and now we have the lead for Furies, and we also have a penalty for a black blocker. So this is, I believe, the second penalty of this game. So far, not so penalty heavy, but it's only been 2 minutes, so there's still a chance to jinx it. And the jam is off. The score is 4-9. or probably will be updated shortly. Hard to keep up with the score and comment live, but we're trying our best. Yeah,
It's a very dynamic game, so you need to keep up with the game.
yeah.
You need to focus.
And the jam is on. We have some jammer on jammer action here. And it looks, oh yeah, no,
Yeah,
she
Matt
hasn't
Dazzle
gone
is
through.
pushing.
Yeah, she's pushing very hard, and she's managed to go through. There is a penalty, another penalty for Team Black. So yeah, right now on the track we have two skaters from Wrocław, from Wrocławia Matchicks, who are also reinforced the Sirens team, and that is in the Jammer Cup, Mac Dazzle, and in the Pivot Cup, Hell Stalk. So far, quite an even game, at least compared to the previous ones, where the scores were. There's a big difference between two teams. Right now, it's quite even. We have 12 points for Sirens and 13 points for Furies. So this could be anybody's game. And we have, is this Eat the Baby or is it
Eat
not
the
Eat the
Baby,
Baby?
yeah, exactly.
It might be Eat the Baby.
It's the Eat the Baby.
Yeah, so some strategy there. And, well, it seemed like it paid off because the white jammer is in the penalty box, so
yeah,
unable
exactly.
to score.
So take her.
Yes. No, that's not a star pass, Dave. They just got a penalty.
Yes, that's right. But they have there is only one jammer during the match, so
Yeah. So right now, as you can see, nice and slow. They have the time to reach the pack, making their way towards it. Not overdoing it. And the white jammer has left the penalty box, so is now making their way towards the pack, trying to make some points, but is unable to do so. Stopped by the other jammer calling the jam off.
yeah. They did it to gain energy.
Yeah.
Because when there is only one jammer, you basically set the tempo of the game.
Yeah, save your breath if you can, as I think you have previously said in the other games that it's both, well, a game of muscle, of strength, of power, but it's also a game of brains.
Claudia's words.
Yeah, I was listening attentively, as you can say. You see, there is some strategy involved, definitely, some different strategies. Every team has their own preferences and style of play, as you can see here. And we have the white jammer is again in a penalty box, so quite penalty heavy this. Whoops, a big crash, but seems they're fine.
Everybody's fine, yeah, we can play.
Yeah, everybody's used to it really
Yeah.
at this point.
White Knight Furies, they are a little bit ahead.
Yeah.
Two from Sirens.
Yeah.
Only by 6 points.
Yeah,
but
6 points difference, but nothing you can change
Yeah,
at this point
exactly.
of the game. There is a timeout, I think so. Yeah, there is an official timeout. The referees are just trying to agree on some details, I think.
Yes, they
Important to
agree.
do so because, as you can see, the officials are using a lot of body language and gestures to show what's going on, in addition to verbal cues. So sometimes it's good to just get in a huddle, discuss, and make sure everybody's on board. And the jam is on. I was looking for the white jam and I forgot they are in the penalty box, but they are now released, so they are reaching the pack. And yes, a nice little jump. Oh, actually not, because it was a cat, so it didn't pay off there. And another penalty. So Team White will now be 2 skaters short for the next jam. So they need to choose wisely who will remain on the track now. And actually the score difference is increased. It's now 12 to 21.
Exactly. But even if there are two players in the penalty box, there at least to be one jammer.
Yeah, there always has to be one jammer.
Always has to be one jammer.
And as you can actually, maybe it's good opportunity to talk about this, about the penalty box, this quiet little place on the outskirts of the track. You can see 3 referees there dressed in all black. I'm talking about you, Kat. Yeah, hi. You can see that there are 3 people, and you might wonder why. And only 2 of them have pink clipboards and pens. So these are the ones who are responsible for timing all the blockers in the game. So they are the ones who they have to note down the number of the player who's arrived in the penalty box. So they keep track of the number of penalties each player gets, because it's important to know this. There's also 2 referees inside the track, also in black, also with pink clipboards, who also note down every penalty as it's being given. And sometimes you can notice that the referees from the inside will come up to the penalty box just to comment, cross-check. Does everything match? Do we have the same number of penalties for each skater? Because if there is a mix-up, that needs to be cleared up so that there is no skaters that foul out because of an officiating mistake. And the person that's in the middle of the penalty box, this is the penalty box manager. And their responsibility is to ensure the smooth work of the penalty box, really, but they also they measure times for the jammers when they arrive in the penalty box, because as you said, there can only be 1 jammer in a penalty box at a time, because if there's no jammers on the track, there can be no game. It would be quite boring just to have blockers. So usually a penalty is 30 seconds in the penalty box, but in case of jammers, it can be shorter. But I will not get into too much detail there. I don't think it's I think it's less interesting than the game itself.
But there's one thing which is very interesting.
Yeah.
When you do your penalty for 20 minutes, you just sit, and then the last 10 seconds you need to stand up.
20 seconds,
Yeah.
just to be precise, not minutes. That would be.
Sorry, guys.
I
20
don't know
seconds.
what kind of penalty that would have to be, but it's 20 seconds where the players sit, so they can catch a breath, and then the last 10 seconds of the penalties they stand. And I said 10 last seconds of the penalties because a player might get a double penalty or perhaps a triple penalty if they commit some serious offense there on the field. They can get a double penalty. So then instead of being there for 30 seconds, they will have to sit a full minute. So then they sit for 50 seconds and stand for the last 10.
And as a player, you want to go to penalty box very, very quickly.
Yeah.
Because the time counts only when you are in the penalty box.
Yes. So when you actually sit your bum on the bench, that's when the time starts. So you want to make your way there as quickly as possible, and when you're done, also return to the track quickly. Because, well, what you might think, what kind of penalty is that, just sitting on a bench, but really you're just making your team 1 player short. So that's why you don't want to lose time. another penalty there, and we can see the black jammer is, well, need to catch a breath really now. So they're skating calmly so as not to waste time, waste strength. It is an intense sport, so sometimes you need breaks. You need really try to sometimes hold your horses, because if you run out of fuel too quickly, you will not be able to continue the game later on.
There's only 9 minutes left.
Yep.
And as we can see, the difference between Night Furies and Chrome Sirens has increased. But Mac Dazzle has the lead, so she can make difference in the jam.
Yeah, she will try to make the score difference smaller, hopefully, for the Sirens.
And there is one interesting fact that you need to know about the jam, that the first slip, after the first slip, the jammer can score points.
Yeah.
So they, if they want to have points, they need to pass at least 2 times the opposite team.
Yeah, the first time you pass the blockers, it's only so that you can learn the status of lead jammer, which gives you the privilege to call off the jam, but you don't get any points. So we need to do this at least one more time if you want to score. I think so far this is the most intense game, the most fast-paced. A lot of action to see here. A lot of penalties too. I wonder what the stats are, if anyone's close to falling out yet or not. And no pack. Did you manage to explain what the pack is?
No, we didn't say anything about
Yeah.
it. So
The pack is, what really is it? It's the biggest group of skaters, really, in the most basic terms. And by skaters, I now mean blockers, because jammers do not really count as part of the pack. But generally, the rest of the skaters, so the ones that do not have the star on the helmets, need to be aware of where they are on the track and the proximity of the other players. So a pack is the largest group of blockers, skaters on track. So in total, there are 4 blockers per team, so 8 blockers in total, provided no one's in the penalty box. But that's the maximum.
Mm-hmm.
And
those 2 packs of blockers, they need to be in 6 meters.
do not ask me that.
Yeah,
I think 6 meters.
6 meters. 6 meters between those 2 packs. It needs to be
like
between
that's
them.
distance between the skaters that's allowed for the pack to be a pack. Otherwise, you can notice the officials in the stripy shirts, or you can see the penalty. The referee inside is now shouting "no pack." That means the players are too far away from each other, and they need to get closer to keep the pack, because
Yes.
the pack is where the game can happen, really. There is no skating wherever you want to. You have to be close to your teammates or your opponents,
Right,
but keep
right,
the pack.
Right. But the whole pack, only one player we need to have in proximity of 6 meters, because you can do a bridge, and thanks to it you can increase the
join
distance.
the 2 groups.
Exactly, yeah.
So
You can increase the distance between 2 packs thanks to a bridge, but it means that you have 1 less player in your pack.
yeah, that's not actively playing or blocking. So a lot of technicality here as well, but that's the nature of the sport, I think. Yeah, but the basics is that this is like the largest group of players that's on the track.
And if you wonder how players can know what the distance is between them, you can take a look at the pitch and you see those lines, those.
Yeah, there is the tape, the black and yellow tape. There are some lines here, and they are spaced 3 meters roughly, because actually it's in inches or what? There's a different measuring system, but roughly it's 3 meters.
It's 3 meters, yeah. We assume that it's 3 meters, yeah, exactly.
We assume, though that makes it easier for, a big crash there, but they're fine. And now let's look at the score. There is 37 for Sirens and 66 for Furies. So again, the distance is increasing, and we only have the 3.5 minutes left. So we'll see what the score is. The first 3 games, you may have noticed, but were the same 3 teams. That was Group A in the tournament. So the next 3 games, you will see some new faces on the track. So in who do we have in Group B? We have the host team, Warsaw Hellcats, of course. You can see the pink banner actually that's hanging up on the wall there. That is the host team, Hellcats. We have from Prague, Heartbreakers, and who do we have as the? Actually, I think there is some kind of mix-up in the schedule here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry, that's actually right. So we have Brno Freak Show from Czechia.
Wrong.
Yeah, from Brno.
Wrong.
What happened here actually is there's probably the emotion and the stress. The jammers probably thought the jam has already started, but it hasn't. So of course, now the jam is on. You have to wait for the whistle and the wave of the jam timer. Yeah, so a lot of people, the crew really that ensures the games are happening, everything is running smoothly. There's a lot of referees, a lot of officials that you can see. I don't really remember the number of referees that need to be involved in the game, but more than players, really, much more. And the jammer is in the penalty box. I wonder. No fallouts yet, I think. Or maybe I was just. Yeah, and I think, if I'm seeing correctly, that this player is falling out, is on the 4th penalty. So this means, if indeed they are on the 4th penalty, maybe I didn't see correctly, but once they are done, they have to leave the track. They cannot go back to the bench, to their team. They need to. Oh no, actually, that must have been the 3rd penalty. But generally, what happens when a skater falls out is they have to leave the track. They have to take their skates off, and they can sit somewhere else. Yeah, but not actively participate and not join the teammates who are sitting in the bench there in the corner. The last
minute.
The half minute, really, 30 seconds. But okay, the jam is pulled off. That was actually a full jam, I think, a full 2-minute jam there. It wasn't called off by either of the jammers. It was a full 2 minutes, so the jam timer was the one to call it off. Because you look at the clock and they mind the time. Do we have time for one more jam?
This will be our last jam in this match.
Yeah, it's got 8 seconds left, so
Yeah.
unlikely that there will be more jumps. And the last jump of the game, or probably last, you never know what happens, but
It's only 8 seconds, but it was pretty
I know.
intensive.
But actually look at the clock.
Ah, yes. Okay.
We might need to read the rules a bit more closely. Because,
Okay.
and here we have again some jammer against jammer blocking here. Always fun to watch.
Yeah. The Hulk was.
And that's the ending whistle, the long one. Unofficial score is 46-78.
For White Knight Furies.
Yeah, for the Furies. So far, do you know the stats? 2 wins for Furies, or
They won 2 matches.
1-2
so far.
games? Yeah. So we'll see how the rest of the tournament goes.
But it means for White Knight Furies that they will play in semi-final.
They might. Yeah. That was we actually can see that the score is final on the board now. The 4th game of this day will begin in 18 minutes, noon. And that will be Riga Roller Derby against Warsaw Hellcats, so the home team.